Well. I feel like it's been a while, Chocolatiers. Last week, I did not watch Here, starring Tom Hanks, and I still have not watched that film. I've actually missed a film this year. I do plan on watching it next week. Probably won't make a review on it, though. Might make like a quick little post or something like that, like a short. But I feel like it'll be way too long to make a review on that. But this weekend, I have watched a lot of movies, and so in today's review, I'm going to be covering Elevation, starring Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin. Well, before we get fully into that, how about you guys elevate me? Hit that like and subscribe button, please. Nobody watched my Agatha All-Along review. If I'm being honest, nobody watched the show, so I don't know why I expected any more, but still, please like, subscribe. I'm almost at 300 subs. Yeah, this movie kind of came out of nowhere. About 2-3 weeks ago, I saw a trailer for this movie, and it was coming on, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, it's like running the mill. But then I saw Anthony Mackie, and I was like, whoa, got my little attention. That's new Captain America. I said, all right, then. And this movie was quite a surprise, while also quite a disappointment. I'm kind of in the middle with this movie. While also still mainly positive, if that makes any sense. I know it sounds confusing, but I'm going to explain. So, the disappointing aspects of this movie is that pretty much the plot is just very basic, but it's also a positive for me. I'm telling you, I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. So, for example, it's from some, I think it's like from like a producer or something like that, A Quiet Place, but it's from some people that have made or helped out with Quiet Place get to where it's at, and so it feels very reminiscent of that, like the creatures, stuff like that, like having like hard shells and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is like they're like the fucking Quiet Place, like little aliens. But yeah, it's a nice premise where these people are in these settlements, like all up in the mountains, like Smoky Mountains areas, places like that, and they can't leave below 8,000 feet because the creatures only attack them anywhere from 8,000 feet. And as the movie slowly unravels, you start realizing it's like they're not attacking wildlife, anything like that. They're only going after humans, and so this kind of opens up a chunk of the movie because you're starting to go in different directions, right? And back on the main point of the main story, Anthony Mackie's son has some kind of illness. They don't really explain what it is, but it's something to do with his breathing, and he has to get these MacGuffins is what it is, in order to help him breathe. And so he has to go to his hospital, but of course it's below 8,000 feet. And him and Morena Baccarin go on this journey. She ends up tagging along because she got his wife killed years ago or whatever, and basically she is like a physicist, and she's trying to learn how to kill the creatures because she's tired of it. She wants to kill them. She wants to get revenge. And so you have them, and also a third character who's just kind of in the movie, if we're being honest. She really doesn't add anything to it, but she is the best friend of Anthony Mackie's dead wife, and her and him kind of hit it off all the time. They talk at the beginning or whatever, kind of setting her character up, but she comes with them as well. And you kind of just have like this journey that's really cool, but then it also leads into a complaint. So you can tell the movie's budgeted, and I did love what they did with it. But like it's the small things that I was kind of like, I don't like. It's kind of goofy. You gotta like get over it at this point. Like, for example, anytime they get attacked by one of the aliens or creatures or whatever they are, it's always just one. And I was like, ain't got no homeboys helping out. Like, we ain't got no backup. It's just always one of them each time attacking them. And, of course, towards the end, like the climactic battle or whatever, there's clearly going to be more there. But once again, I let that slide because you can tell if they are pinching pennies. This is definitely budget. I don't know what the budget on this film was, but it's like minor complaints. That's why I still am mainly positive about this movie because, even in my mind, I'm like, okay, that kind of ruins the little immersion that I'm in or whatever because, I don't know why 10 of them just don't show up and just mow you guys down. At the same time, I get why they couldn't, okay? And there's like a lot of good tension. Like there's like a scene where they have to go into the mines, for example, and Anthony Mackie's like, oh yeah, I know these mines, whatever, I used to do jobs here a few years ago, whatever. And, you know, he goes there and like one of the shafts is closed and he's like, oh fuck, we gotta go down to level 7 and this is like, you know, whatever, like, you know, it's gonna be below 8,000 feet, whatever. And like just the tension of like not knowing where the creature's at, there might be one down here, what if there's not, you know, stuff like that. You know, I would have liked to have seen more of like the settlement aspect. They show kind of at the beginning that they work kind of on trades, stuff like that, but that's just kind of more me. That's not really a nitpick or complaint. I would have just loved to see more of that because that was kind of interesting, especially some of the stuff they were drinking was like tree sap, shit like that. But they were like planting their own like crops and stuff like that. Like he was planting potatoes at the beginning. It was really cool. But this movie is a lot of fun. Like there's an action scene in the hospital that is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's what I wish Quiet Place was at some points when I was really sitting there thinking about it. I was like, man, you know, I really wish that the Quiet Place movies had some cool action like this. There's just people running around. Like, no, these people were shooting. Like that's what's so crazy. They couldn't penetrate the armor in this. Like the whole point is that they're like, yeah, we can't kill these things, but they were still firing shots. And just to have that, I was like, I like this. At least they're fighting back. They're not pussies. I like this. Overall, this movie is definitely a fun time. Definitely sets things up, and that's kind of where the real problem of the movie laid with me, because it ends in a place where you're not fully content, and you're not going to be fully content with a movie like this unless they just gave you a straight trilogy or some shit and just ended it right. That or just made it 3 hours or something like that. But this movie ends in a place where you're like, okay, it's a positive note. I'm liking where they're going, whatever. But then there's like some weird like tag on almost mid-credit scene that they have, and you go, because at one point, and this is without spoilers, the creatures have a big reveal and it answers some of your questions, and then you go, huh, is it this or is it this? I feel like there's only two ways you can go, and the mid-credit scene pretty much answers what's going on. You're like, oh fuck, sequel? I don't think this is getting a sequel though, and so now I'm a little upset because I was at least invested in this world. This movie is definitely gonna not pull at your heartstrings, by the way, and that's something that this movie really should have done. Like, I feel like they should have maybe added like 3 more people. I know it's crazy. I know that's cash and that's money for a low budget movie, but if we had like 2 or 3 more people just to like build on this group and have them get killed off, maybe I would have been like, okay. But like there's tension in the movie, but like Marina Bachner knows what she's doing, Anthony Mackie knows what he's doing, he's the main fucking character, and so there's not like a whole lot of tension or whatever. And then when they really start to set this up for a sequel, I was like, God, I really do like this world though, even though I had these few problems with this. So overall, I would say this is a good movie you should definitely go watch. But if you love this world and you end up falling in love with it, and you really like it, just know there's a high chance this bitch is not getting a sequel. So just know that you might watch this movie and love it like I did, but be very, very, very upset on certain aspects of this film. Overall, I'm going to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. I think this movie is not anything too crazy, but it's definitely really good for what it's doing with its budget. There's definitely a lot of flaws in it. You know, like for example, the poster fucking lied to me for starters. That was the weirdest complaint. By the way, I was like, we got snowy stuff, and there's no fucking snow in this film. It was like every time they show you something outside that mine area, it's just the same shot of the same woodsy area, like in the mountains, and like I guess it's the only place they filmed. The mine is like the only, I guess that in the hospital, like the only 2 locations. They're like different. I guess there's technically one more, but it looked basically just like the hospital, and they only showed 1 room, so I don't even want to count that. But outside of that, though, definitely budgeted, but in a good way. The alien creatures looked really good. And that's why I said I actually wasn't going to take off points for, you know, the goofiness of like not having 15 of them, just you want to attack them and kill them, because what they did with them, they looked really good. I did like their design. I would like to learn more But like I said, probably ain't getting a sequel. But yeah, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film. Let me know if you saw it. My theater was fucking packed. I was very confused. I thought I was in a different movie. I actually thought I walked in the wrong one. I said, did I walk in Heretic? Did I walk in Best Christmas Pageant Ever? Like, I really was thrown off because this movie has no advertisement. I've seen nothing on it except for 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, Anthony Mackie, okay, I'll go watch that if it's out, you know, if they get it. I don't know why my theater was packed. Packed house, 7:45. Like, every seat was almost taken up. I said, damn, for this? So I'm hoping it makes money. Hope we get that sequel. And I hope that you guys like, subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Run!
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.